President Biden is imposing new sanctions on the Cuban regime after the violent crackdown on anti-government protesters earlier this month. The move comes as some boaters in Florida plan to launch a flotilla of private vessels toward Cuba this morning. Manuel Bojorquez is in Miami. Manny, good morning. What are they planning exactly?
Good morning. Their plan to have dozens of boaters join in haven't quite materialized, at least not just yet. But the boaters who are here at this marina say they plan to head to Key West, check in with the Coast Guard, and then sail towards Cuba, where they will show their support with fireworks and Chinese lanterns. Many have shown their support for protesters in Cuba on the waters off Miami. But now organizers of the flotilla say they'll head to 15 nautical miles from Havana, which would be international waters, as they make a show of support for the Cuban people. Captain Adam Shammy with the U.S. Coast Guard says it's legal, but crossing into Cuban waters is not and can incur fines and prison time. There's also the weather.
What might seem like it's pretty safe waters just a few miles from shore, when you're 50 miles from shore, can look very differently.
The planned trip comes as the Biden administration announced new sanctions on Alvaro Lopez Miera, the Cuban Minister of Defense, as well as the Cuban Interior Ministry Special Brigade, for repressing the pro-democracy protests in Cuba that began July 11th. There are reports of possibly hundreds detained since the protests. In a statement, President Biden said the Cuban people have the same right to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly as all people. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez argues Cuba is not a priority of the Biden administration.
The Cuban people are defending themselves with rocks and sticks against guns and clubs. And so I've even called for things as dramatic as not taking off the table the possibility of some level of military intervention.
Jorge Duani is the director of the Cuban Research Institute at Florida International University. He says the Biden administration is trying to find the middle ground between the more open policies of the Obama administration and former President Trump's swift reversal.
Much of the calculus regarding what to do next with Cuba has to do with next year's midterm election here in Florida. And I'm sure that's part of the discussion within the White House.
Duani also says the Biden administration's stated goal of restoring internet service to the island, which was cut off by the communist regime after the uprisings there, may be the best way to help protesters keep the momentum going. Gayle?
All right, Manny, thank you very much.